Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we are diving deep into the Salesforce sharing and visibility model. And we're not just scratching the surface. We're focusing on exactly what you need to know to crush that architect exam.
All right, let's get into it. Here's our game plan. We're going to start with the absolute fundamentals, the 3 security layers, and build our way up, piece by piece, all the way to advanced topics like Apex sharing. And you better believe we'll be calling out those tricky spots that love to show up on the exam.
So first things first, let's lay the groundwork. Every single access decision you make in Salesforce is really just trying to answer one very simple question. This right here, this is the question at the very heart of everything you will do as a Salesforce architect. Your ability to answer this one question, securely, efficiently, scalably, that's what the exam is all about.
So Salesforce answers that big question with these 3 layers, and you have to master them. I love this analogy. Object access is like, can you even see the building exists? Field access is, okay, you're in, but can you see the blueprints on the wall? And finally, record access determines which specific rooms you're allowed to open and walk into. We're going to break down each one.
Let's kick things off with those first 2 layers, object and field access. These are basically your gatekeepers, and they're controlled by 2 tools you need to know like the back of your hand.
Okay, here's the key takeaway. Profiles are the foundation. They set the baseline permissions for a group of users. Think of it as the minimum access a sales rep needs. Permission sets, on the other hand, only add permissions. They're like bonus keys you hand out. So maybe a few of your sales reps are on a special deal desk, so you give them a permission set to edit a discount approval field. They never take access away, they only grant more.
Now, this slide has some absolute gold for the exam. View all and modify all, these are the super user buttons. They completely blow past any record-level sharing you've set up. Permission set groups are a total lifesaver for keeping your sanity. Just bundle up permissions by job role. And for temporary access, like for a contractor, expiration dates and session-based sets are your best friends.
This is a critical, non-negotiable rule you have to grasp. You can put a field on a page layout, make it required, make it editable, whatever you want. But if the user's field-level security, their FLS, says that field is read-only, then it is read-only, period. FLS is the final boss when it comes to field access.
Let's make this real. Imagine you have a social security number field. You need your HR team to see it, but absolutely no one else. Well, you'd use FLS to make that field visible to the HR profile and hidden for everyone else. That way, even if some admin accidentally leaves it on a page layout somewhere, it doesn't matter. Only the HR team can actually see the data.
Okay, so we've got our object and field access locked in. Now we get to the really interesting part, record-level access. And it all begins with one single critical setting.
Organization-wide defaults, or OWDs. This is the absolute bedrock of your record security model. If you get this wrong, everything you build on top of it is just a house of cards. Just remember, the OWD is your most restrictive setting. You can only ever open up access from here. You can never use other tools to make things more restrictive than the OWD.
So these are your choices. Private is Fort Knox, public read-write is a block party, and controlled by parent, that's a special one just for records in a master-detail relationship. The child just does whatever the parent says. Now here's a huge exam tip. You can only create sharing rules if your OWD is set to private or public read-only. Makes sense, right? If it's already public, there's nothing left to share.
All right, so we've set our default lock with the OWD. Now we need to start handing out keys to let specific people in. Let's look at the main tools we have for opening things back up.
The role hierarchy is probably the simplest way to open up access. It's all about vertical sharing. A manager can always see and edit the records owned by the people who report to them. The keyword there is owned. This is only about record ownership.
And here it is, the classic exam trap question. I can almost guarantee you'll see some version of this. If you use a sharing rule to give a sales rep access to an opportunity, their manager does not automatically get access through the role hierarchy. The hierarchy only cares about ownership, not about sharing rules. Don't forget that.
So if the role hierarchy is vertical, sharing rules are all about going sideways or lateral. This is how you share across different teams. Let's say you need your senior engineers in Europe to see all the high-priority cases owned by the US support team. A sharing rule is the perfect declarative way to make that happen. You've got 2 main flavors of sharing rules. Owner-based is simple. it's about who has the record. Criteria-based is about what's in the record, like sharing all accounts with revenue over $1 million. And remember who you can share with: roles, public groups, and territories. And keep an eye on those limits. The exam loves to ask scalability questions.
Okay, let's level up. Beyond those main tools, we have more flexible, more dynamic options for collaboration and custom-coded sharing. Teams are fantastic for ad hoc, record-by-record collaboration. Think a big sales deal or a nasty support case that needs all hands on deck. Apex Sharing, though, is your ultimate power tool. You can code literally any sharing logic you can dream of. But, and this is a huge but for architects, you have to use a custom row cause. That's your custom reason for the share. Without it, Salesforce will just wipe out your custom share the next time the record owner changes. All right, let's finish up with a couple of advanced topics that really separate an admin from a true architect.
This table right here, this trips up even seasoned developers. And as an architect, you have to know it cold. The with sharing keyword in Apex only enforces record-level sharing. That's it. It completely ignores object and field-level security. This means your code could accidentally expose a field to a user who shouldn't see it. The only way to prevent that security hole is to manually check permissions in your code with things like is accessible before you show any data.
And this quote gets right to the soul of what it means to be an architect. Your job isn't to build an impenetrable digital fortress just for the sake of it. It's to find that perfect, elegant balance between robust security and letting your business users actually get their jobs done.
So, what's the real takeaway here? It's not just about memorizing what a sharing rule is. As a Salesforce architect, you have to understand the why behind the what. You have to be able to look at a complex business problem, see the risks, and design a solution that works for people and for the system. That's the art of it. And that's what's going to help you ace this exam.